Great to have you with us today. Joining us now, Carl Higbie. Boy, he's got such a resume. I mean, he served our country. He was a radio talk show host for a while. He was in the Trump administration. He was with America First Policies. And now he's a podcast star. He rocks. Hey, Carl, good to have you, man.
Hey, thanks for having me on, John.
All right, so tell us, I want to get into politics and all that good stuff, Carl, but we go back a ways, and I've always found you to be one of the most forthright people out there and honest. Tell me about how you decided to get involved in this podcast and how the whole thing works. Just walk us through it.
So, I honestly got sick and tired of other people writing the narrative. So, I talked to a lot of people, a lot of them in showbiz, a lot of them very successful. I said, Carl, you need to start a podcast. We'll support you. So last week we launched Liberty and Cocktails with Carl Higbie, and it's actually been a smash hit. We opened up with Anthony Scaramucci, followed by Governor Mike Huckabee. Then Mike Flynn came on, General Mike Flynn, one of his first interviews since leaving the admin. And then we had Judge Jeanine Pirro, Kaya Jones, Kevin Jackson was yesterday. So it's been a rock star lineup day after day. So we're going to keep it going. And I just wanted people to get to know me as a person because, what the fake news says in the headlines is, I want people to know exactly who I am. And I wanted people to get the straight, honest truth. I'm less concerned about who's offended than I am with who's affected. And I thought it would be something that would be good for everyone.
Carl, how often is it? How often do you do it?
Right now, we're doing it every day. We're as long
Monday
as the
to Friday
are there, people are coming in left and right. So we'll keep
Monday
going.
to Friday.
Yeah, Monday through Friday. Every once in a while, we'll re-release on a Saturday or Sunday or something like that.
Is it an hour? I mean, do you have a time frame or just whatever?
That's the greatest thing about those podcasts is that they're between 25 and 55 minutes. And just depending on how the conversation goes, I don't go in with an agenda. I go in with a couple topics I want to talk about. And most of the people that I know have been very, been friends for a long time. And they come on and they talk whatever they want about whatever politics are going on in the day. And we take it from there. And sometimes it just rolls on for an hour.
So if somebody wanted access to it, is it audio or audio and video?
Audio for now, but we're talking to some folks about going video probably in September, October. It's called Liberty and Cocktails. You go to libertyandcocktails.com. And the whole premise of it is I want to have the toughest conversations. I have a bunch of liberals coming up in the next week or two. And I want to have the tough conversations about the things that people generally freak out about and are taboo to talk about. And I want to do it civilly enough to have cocktails after.
That's pretty good. LibertyandCocktails.com, Carl Higbie. So how many you've been doing this for a couple of weeks now?
Yeah, last week was our first week. We actually opened on a Friday with Scaramucci. So,
excellent, excellent. And
nice.
So how many downloads are you getting so far? I know it just got started, but...
Yeah, first week we had about 3,000 downloads.
That's great. I tell you what, for the first week with no advertising or anything else, that is fantastic. You're off to a great start. And look, it's another option for people. And I love the idea because the fake news is trying to really define you into something that you're not, taking things out of context from something that you said, a long time ago that's, part of one sentence. And we all get that today. I mean, if you're a Trump supporter today, you're going to be attacked by everybody, and it's just how it is. You got to deal with it. But I love the idea of your podcast. I love the title of it, Liberty and Cocktails. I love Liberty, and I love happy hour. So I'm all in for that. Great title, Carl. Looking forward to it. So go to libertyandcocktails.com. Liberty, it's not assigned. It's A-N-D, libertyandcocktails.com. And you can download that. And the great thing about podcasts are you can listen to it whenever you want. You can be in the car, you can be at home, you can be getting up, you can be shaving, you can be doing anything you want. It's not like me where you have a certain time. Of course, now with my app, you can get me 24/7. But you know what I'm saying. If you are just hanging out and having a beer and you feel like getting Liberty and Cocktails, you go to your phone, you go to libertyandcocktails.com, boom, it comes up. And I know you, Carl, well enough to know you're going to have very scintillating conversations with a lot of very interesting people. And I, for one, am looking forward to it. Now, do you have a company that does this, or are you just doing it yourself? Are you part of a podcast conglomerate or something?
Actually, we're talking to a conglomerate right now, and they wanted to see how the first week went. But I'm talking about 3 different companies, and they're all very interested in moving us up the chain, and that's why we're talking about video and all that stuff.
Good. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, and I'm certainly, as we go forward, if you want me to help you out on our app, which just runs 24/7, we can certainly run your link during the day. If you want us to do that, you can just send me an email on that in the future, and after the show, I'd be happy to do that. Carl Higbie with us, got a new podcast, libertyandcocktails.com. You can also follow him on Twitter at Carl Higbie. Carl,
Yeah.
I saw Giuliani yesterday. Now, I've been very critical of his TV appearances. I know him. He's been on my show. Good guy, but I've been very critical. I was on my show yesterday. He was on, I think, with Carmela on CNN New Day, which I have on during my show. We closed captioned it. I couldn't follow.
How are you being able to suffer through that?
Well, because I'm a CNN contributor, plus I like to know what the other side is saying,
Right.
because otherwise you get sucked up in the echo chamber, which I don't want to be involved in, because that makes me less effective for my listeners. But the bottom line is, I couldn't figure out what the hell he was saying yesterday. I thought it was a bunch of mumbo-jumbo gibberish. And every time he gets on TV, it gets worse. Something about collusion isn't a crime. The tape got cut off. Maybe it was doctored. Then he said hacking is a crime, not collusion. Maybe they should have. I don't know what he was saying. I mean, it was the biggest hodgepodge of jumbo. And I've said this before. Why doesn't he just go in his office and shut the door and work on the president's defense? I just don't think him going on TV is doing the president any good. Do you have any idea what the hell he said Monday?
Well, I took one thing away from it. I did watch that interview just because it was shared pretty widely. The one thing he said was, at this time, no, we're not going to do an interview with Bob Mueller. And, you're right. There was a lot of other stuff said that I didn't quite follow. But here's the other thing about Rudy Giuliani is he's both sides of this. Most people, you have a great lawyer that only does legal and doesn't understand either the politics or the public image or anything like that. Rudy Giuliani knows both. He knows the public image, he knows the lawyer side, and he can kind of talk to both. Now, I don't know, is this confusion? Are these talking points part of a greater ploy to just kind of spin things up and try to get Mueller to slip up and do something stupid? I don't know, maybe. I would give Rudy Giuliani the benefit of the doubt, just knowing him the way I do, that he's up to something on behalf of Trump, to make Mueller mess up or something to that effect.
All right. Well, I tell you what, I know you're going to help me get him back on my show. I've kind of lost his press people since he made this transition. I often see him at the Trump Hotel. I just saw him a couple of weeks ago, but I'd like to get him on and try to figure this out, because it was very confusing to me. And obviously, I'm a defender of the president. I'm a surrogate, but I try to give the facts. And the last couple of times he's been on, I just shake my head. I have no idea where he's going with this. And, yeah, maybe there's some, master plan scheme here, or maybe, he's just not doing a good job on TV. It's certainly one or the other.
Yeah. I'm kind of with you on that one, but I'll give him the benefit of the doubt, and I believe that he's probably part of some greater play here.
All right, I'll go with the benefit of the doubt. Let's get to politics. In the House races, I still think the Republicans are going to hold the House by 3. I know I'm taking a minority view. I say that just because the economy, Carl, is booming. It is booming.
Oh.
I think it's very difficult. There's going to be a lot of people that they don't like some of the things that the president does. They don't like his style. They don't like his tweets, whatever. But when you've got a better job, when you're getting a bonus, when your kids are moving out of the basement, when your 401k is up, when your economic future looks brighter, why are you going to go in that voting booth and risk the Democrats and Pelosi's platform when you really have no idea what it is, other than the chairman of the DNC, Tom Perez, said that the new socialist candidate is the future of the party.
That, to me, is insane. And I was like, since you're broadcasting in the Beltway, I want them to hear this. You go 20 miles outside that Beltway, people think entirely different than the conventional, especially the conventional Republican logic, but, both sides of that logic. I'll tell you, man, I've been all over the country recently. I've been, talking to people in diners and focus groups and polling and things like that. And guess what? All these people are like, yeah, I may not agree with his tweet, but I like the guy because he's doing stuff for me. You have a candidate, you have somebody who's literally running for, 4.1 GDP, which everybody said would never happen again. You've got more jobs than people available, lowest unemployment of the blacks and Hispanics ever, and parade of other things, deregulation, et cetera. And Republicans, for the most part, outside of a few Republicans, are running on that success. They're running on success. They may say, I didn't agree with him from the beginning, but I'm with him now. They agree with his success. They're running on that success, and they say, we are going to keep this going, tax cuts 2.0. And the Democrats are running literally against the beneficial parts to the American people. Not a great platform.
I really don't have any idea what it is that they stand for. And I would like somebody to explain that to me, Carl Higbie. If you're going to vote for a Democrat, other than Trump sucks, impeach him, get him out, we don't like Ivanka, okay, all that. Other than that, do you have any idea of what their platform is? I mean, Bernie Sanders came out with Medicaid for all. The CBO priced it at $32.5 billion over $1 trillion, over a 10-year period, trillion with a T, which means that it would have to be the most massive tax increase in history. What is your platform?
So I actually wrote a piece on this. It's up on whiskeypatriots.com, and I talked about it on my podcast the other day, that they have, essentially 5 quintet of issues that they run on. One is, free health care for all, which is, not possible, wealth redistribution, open borders, foreign policy of appeasement, and resisting. And these issues in themselves, like, you show me a place where, and I had an argument with somebody the other day, and where it's, universal health care for all. It works in Sweden, it works in, Belgium and the Nordic countries. They have universal health. Yes, they do, but when they get really, really sick, they come to America. And they're like, well, they have the money to do it. Why can't we? It's like, well, they made all their money and success and growth as a nation prior to instituting socialist policy since then. But the big difference between us and them, United States of America, and any of these countries that have socialized medicine or something like that, is the fact that, A, guess who they call when they're in trouble for military support? United States of America. Why? Because they don't have the money to do it, because they spend it all on free health care for everybody. So right there, that's a non-starter. Second off, when you get really, really sick in, I don't know, Canada, you come to the United States of America. When Great Britain, you need a surgery, you come to the United States of America, because guess what? When you allocate all your money for socialized medicine, you have no money left for research and development, which is what the United States does best. That's why we're one of the foremost leaders in technology.
What do you think is going to happen? Make a prediction. I'm saying the Republicans hold the House by 3. I know I'm going out on a limb. What say you?
I think we keep it right about where it is, maybe 20 to 25 in the House.
No way.
I think we gain 3 in the Senate.
No way. So you think the Republicans are not going to lose but a handful of seats in the House?
Yes, I'm saying that right here, because here's why. Like I said, you go outside that beltway, you have people. You mention Nancy Pelosi to anybody in blue or red districts, they cringe. Republican or Democrat. Right. Even Democrats are like, we don't want Pelosi. We don't want. You look at Nancy Pelosi. Her main platform is wealth redistribution. She was quoted recently by saying, God never intended for one group of people to live in the superfluous, inordinate wealth, while others object in deadening poverty. So, but this woman is worth like $100 million. Mm-hmm. So the hypocrisy there is amazing, and that is her and Maxine Waters and potentially this Cortez, who's going to be the next congresswoman from that district. That's the future of the Democratic Party. Policies that in every country they've been instilled in don't work.
All right. Well, that is a bold prediction. You're saying 3 Senate pickups. I'm a little bolder here. I say 6. I think the Republicans are going to pick up Montana, Missouri, Florida, North Dakota, Indiana. I'm the only one in America predicting Morrissey over Manchin in West Virginia. I think Joe's going to go, and I think that they hold Arizona and they hold Nevada. And if you do that, they're going to pick 6 seats up. We're out of time. John Fredericks Radio. Go ahead. Carl, go ahead.
I was just going to say that if the Republicans want to define the line right before the midterm elections, make a vote on the Second Amendment. Who supports it, who doesn't? That's going to define the line so clear that it'll really give voters a clear choice in November.
All right, we're out of time. Want to thank Carl Higbie for being with us. You can follow him on Twitter at Carl Higbie. Also, his new podcast, Liberty and Cocktails. Go to libertyandcocktails.com. Download that. Check it out. Carl, great to have you back, man. Congratulations and good luck with your new podcast, and email me details later, and we'll pick it up for you on the weekend.